Okay, so it appears that I am connected to the internet, and I'm going to go post our link to this class. Where do I get that now? Stream settings. I don't know how to do that anymore with this new system. Share. Looks like maybe it's here. Let me copy that and see what we end up with. My name's Gary. I am trying a different type of streaming software, and we're going to try Too Heavy Beatles class using that streaming software. So I'm going to go post a link on our website, and we'll find out if it works or not. Clip. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open. Update. Update. Alright, so then we'll see what happens. I'm going to click this to see if Twitter will make sense of this. It got a whole lot more intriguing. HTTPS website. Did I mention the website? Denver Guitar GUI. Keyboard went out. GUITAR Orchestra. DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. That pops up. I'll have to figure out how to do a better job with that. It looks like I may have to start putting up a picture prior. Let's see, we'll just put the orchestra photo on there, and then that will mean it goes away. That looks fine. Then I'm going to close Twitter down, and then I'm going to close this down, and then I am hoping that this will connect people up to where they need to go. So let's find out. Page. I figured I'd test it on tonight's activity to see if it works. Looks like I got 9 viewers. One of you guys in chat, if you'll say hey and let me know if the sound is good and if the video is good. I am trying a new streaming software, and I don't know what will happen. Alright, that's funny. That's funny. The photo that came out on the front page is hilarious. Alright. There's a huge lag now between what's on my screen and what's in there. So I think I can pull my little video guy where I am over here, and then I can see chat. And I'll tell you guys what I'm up to here shortly. Shoot, hold on, come here. Alright, so he goes over here, and then I still have chat here. JEL, welcome in, good to see ya. And Evelyn, how are you tonight? Sound is good. Vic is in, sounds a little low. It's interesting. Okay, can I adjust that? I don't think I can. I know, probably it's being affected by the amount. The audio interface that is on this thing, it appears to be more sensitive than without. So let's see. Kyla says the sounds of video is okay. Video is good. Sound is good. Okay, so sound's a little low. I think this particular interface is a tiny bit more sensitive to the audio stuff, which I think is what I want. And so you guys will let me know as we go through the evening if it's too low. I don't know enough about this to figure out how to run it yet. But I've been trying to figure out, like, hey, how can I go about putting up slides and putting up, information about, like, here's what the circle of fifths does and all this stuff, and I like to put stuff up on the screen, but you can't do that with YouTube, so you have to use external software, and this software is called OBS, and it's meant for, how people play video games online and then other people watch them play video games. I don't even know why people do that, but they do, and so it's used for that. And it also will allow me, once I figure it out, to put up slides and all this stuff. And I thought, you know what? Let's just try it tonight. Let's see what happens. If at some point things get really weird and horrible, we will just call it a night. but I think it should be cool because I should be able to put sheet music up and all this stuff as we are working together, and which means that I will have to be better prepared for classes and all that. So we'll see. We'll see how this works tonight. We'll see how the sound works. Vic spends a lot of time here listening in on classes, so she knows better than anybody what the sound typically sounds like. And we'll see. Right now the heater is running and the humidifier is running, and so I'm going to turn off the humidifier to see if it affects the sound. And then I'm going to also, and then I'll let you know when the main heater goes off, and we'll see if that's affecting the sound quality as well. Nancy comes in and mentions that I did get out 2 more pieces of sheet, well, technically 3 more pieces of sheet music. So check your inbox if you did not in the last hour or so. I did get the Penny Lane and something. Penny Lane and Norwegian Wood. I got that out for you guys. And so check your email. It's also got Super Secret Song number 3 in it. And I want to talk about all 3 of those tunes tonight and make sure that Denver Guitar Orchestra, make sure that you have a good starting point on them. Obviously, we're going to be hanging on to these tunes for quite some time, and so there's no urgency or no emergency to doing anything at any particular time. Obviously, I would like to play through last week's playlist and make sure that that's coming together for you. And then I also want to talk about the Super Secret Song again. Penny Lane PDF. Okay, so whoops, hold on. Go put these in the right folder over here, or all heck breaks loose. Okay, guitar. Okay, there's that. Right. Go back to the cloud. Sorry, guys. I'll get my act together here. I have always too many changes all at once. All right, so I've got those downloaded. And then I need to go back up to get the Super Secret Song. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Mysteries, that's what I'm calling them. PNDGO Mystery number 3. Download that. Okay. All right. So let's double check and make sure. Let's see. Did I say hi to everybody? JEL sounds good. Pauline is in tonight. Vic is here tonight. Kyla is in tonight, and Vic. Sound will be okay. Will be okay for me. Not too low. Yeah, it's probably, like I say, this audio, this interface is going to give me a lot more ability to put stuff and cool things on the broadcast once I figure out how to run it. And so the sound and all that stuff may be different. The other thing that's super weird is on my screen, the YouTube screen, I am super crazy delayed. Like I'm probably seeing myself at the same time you are seeing me, whereas on the audio interface I'm actually almost live. So so we have new things going on. Let's start. Let's play a couple tunes as warm up, and then we'll talk about changes and things coming up, and then we can talk a little bit about the new tunes as well. So on our list tonight, why don't we just go down the list again, just like we did last week? Let's look at yesterday. Let's start with that and just make sure that's kind of staying together for you. And it's just a lovely tune, don't you think? All right. Get tuned up. It's been a day. We lost that one. Let's try this one instead. I think that I'm in tune. Good. Let me turn off this humidifier. I do want to see if that affects the sound overall. In a minute, I think it'll turn off it should turn off the room heat, and that'll change that fan as well. And my foot pedal is again not connecting for some reason. Give it just a second. There it goes. Okay, let me come back to that. So many electronic things here to play acoustic guitar. It's ridiculous. All right, so you got it yesterday, and guys, we've been through this a lot. So probably you don't need any further information from me. Just an opportunity to play, and so let's just go through it a couple of times. And the only typo I show is on measure 16. The forward repeat bar should not be there. Doesn't do anything there, so you can ignore it. And let's just see how it comes out. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I doing here? 5, 6, 7. Oh, I know. I'm like, what is this? What is this craziness here? It's just your bar on 5. I don't know why I was blanking on that with the C shape in front. All right, so let's go from there. Measure 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I can get that on there correctly. Go. Supposed to repeat there. So when you get to the end of 15, you're supposed to go back to measure 1. Let's go back to measure 1. Sorry. It's like I've never seen this piece of sheet music before. Let's go from measure 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. if I said hey to you tonight. Good to see you, Bill. Nancy, good to see you. Arlo, good to see you. I don't know if I said hi to all you guys or not. Isn't that a pretty song? Isn't it nice? I think it plays pretty well. It's definitely hard, definitely, but it's not a pinky killer. And today, when my first draft of Penny Lane that I sent you guys today, I had it in the key of the E, and I played through it about 5 times, and my pinky was just killing me. And I'm like, that's not gonna be fun to play. So I moved it over into the key of D, and it's a little easier. But this piece, right? Even though it's in the key of C, and you're constantly having to deal with the C chord, and the F chord shows up in here. Outside of that, now it kind of flows. It kind of works together, I think. And so let's play it one more time. Make sure it's coming together just fine. Guys, right now there's no other sound in the room. The heater is turned off. The humidor is turned off, and so the only thing I'm hearing is Donna's putting away some dishes in the other room. Let me know if the sound sounds clean and like you'd expect a decent video to sound like, and we'll play, of course, but be thinking about what the overall sound quality is, because if I start using this interface, there's a whole bunch of other things I can do if this works okay. So you'll give me some feedback on what it sounds like at your house. From the top, 4-beat count in, 1. Oh, and I'm too close to the screen, I think let's do this. There we go. Let's try that. This would be about where I would normally sit. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the top. well, how are we playing tonight? How are we feeling? Feeling good? That feels nice, right? Um, um, how are you playing? All right. Let's see. There is yesterday, and next up, I'm going to have you pull up is Blackbird, and I have a private student who started working on Blackbird this week, so I'm kind of digging Blackbird for a little bit. Let's see. Somebody toss something into chat and let me know that I am actually online. I'd appreciate that. Say, it's going great, Gary. Let's see. Okay, there we come. Nancy says, beautiful song. 4 times through, yeah, 4 times. You know, the thing about these songs is, generally speaking, on this book 4 level, generally speaking, you can play them, right? But the problem is they're really hard, and so you take 2-3 times through, and you're like, okay, I'm starting to get warmed up. I'm starting to know about where my mistakes are going to be happening, and I'm starting to know how to deal with them. I find, as I'm playing through the day, and we're playing a little bit more cooperative songs, I still make plenty of mistakes, but it's not like I'm in a death match with the paper, I'm like, oh gosh, I goofed that up, sort of thing. But these level 4 songs, you're like, oh God, what's this? Oh my gosh, what's that? And if you're playing it every single day, obviously you can keep up with, your brain will retain it. But I find, since I only get to play this stuff once or twice a week, that, man, it is definitely, when I show up, I'm like, oh God, that seems like an awful lot of there's an awful lot of work that's going on in here. It's worth it, right? That's beautiful. It's super fun to do, but man, oh man, is it a lot. Let's see. All right, so that's not for me. Okay, good. So Nancy says, beautiful song. Christy's in. You guys apparently are hearing me all right. So you're not giving me too much feedback on that, so that probably means things are going well. You cannot believe how different my screen is based. This software is designed for gamers, and you can't believe all of the choices that I have on my screen right now. It's a little terrifying. So, or just trying to not explode, I think, is what I'm mostly trying to do. Blackbird, let's play that. And remember that you have this weird measure 5 with 7 beats in it, which is actually pretty close, which I think is actually what the Beatles do. But other than that, it turns out the hard part of this song is measures 12 through 17. Blackbird, fly, black, and there's all these big chords that are a little messy. So let's see how we do when we get there. The body of the song is fairly straightforward. Let's go down to measure 11, and then we come back to measure 5. Are we reserved judgment on the sound until next week? I'll be back Wednesday. Sounds good. Yeah, we're going to talk about the schedule a little bit for next week, for the rest of the week. I'm taking a 4-day weekend starting. This is my last class for the week, and so I do want to talk and make sure you guys know what's going on. Those of you guys who aren't able to attend during the day probably don't care that much, but we will not be meeting next Thursday, and so we'll catch up on all that. Let's play this song first to get through another song, see if we can get our hands working, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up. Let's see, where am I at? Here, let's go here. 3, 3, 3, 2, 3. There's the problem. 3, 3, 2, 3. No, there it is. That 3's got to be on 5. That's the secret. And then the G chord. E chord. And way down to 10. Let's go back and do it from measure 12 again. From 12. Go. I think that that section there is almost it's not quite unplayable, but to get that really smooth, you really gonna have to just memorize that section. Let's talk about what I would do if I were memorizing that. The first thing, obviously, C chord with your pinky. That part makes sense, right? And then to get to the A minor, just leave the C shape on. You're going to move 2 fingers. First the ring finger to get into the A minor shape, and then add your pinky, move it from the first string to the second string. That's not terrible. And then the next section, you have to get your 2 onto your index finger on the 2 of the upper string, which puts your middle finger on the 5th string, and then ring finger on the 4th string, and pinky finger on the 2nd string. And that's the right chord, right? That sounds exactly like the song. So it's a super modified F chord is basically what's happening. You've taken the F chord, gotten rid of the bar, just found the melody note, and so you are playing just an E chord, but you're up here on 2. Add your pinky on underneath everybody, and then you're going to go to this G chord. Do that again. Whoops. Move these 2. F sharp chord. It's just an F chord with the pinky up there, and then here's where I think I'm overthinking it. You just got to slide these guys back to the E. Yeah, that's it. So be thinking F chord without the bar. Slide back, and then I'd let that ring on me. It's supposed to be 3 beats, so it is longer than the other ones. And then getting to the 10. 8, 5, 8 with a bar, 2 5s, and then you're clear when you get to the G, D. Okay, so I'd like to do that one last time from 12 to 17. See if that thought process goes through. C, A minor, F with the pinky, G. C, A minor, F with the pinky, E with the pinky. Let's see if that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, that's only one beat. That's not enough beats. Let's add some beats on. Let's give that 2 extra beats. So if you go to E, the F chord, 1, 2, 3. I think that E chord needs to be more beats. I think it needs to be 2 beats. Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, bum. I think we need to add a beat in there. We already have a 7/4 time. Let's make that E chord there, middle of measure 15. Let's make that 2 beats. And I think that will make it easier to play, and I also think it'll sound fine. So let's give that some thought. Let's play that section one more time, giving the E chord 2 beats. I think that might solve the problem here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the light of a dark, dark, black night. Let's try that. You guys let me know what you think. I think that we need an extra beat in there, and I think, right? I'm not positive, but let's see what you come up with. So we'll make that equal. Make measure 15 a 5/4 measure. We already have a 7/4 measure in here anyway. So let's play it one more time, top to bottom, just like written, except that we're gonna add an extra beat into measure 15. I think we need that extra beat to get down to the 10. I also think I need to mark my fret number 10 every time. I'm like, is this a 12 to the body or a 14 to the body? From the top, as written, except for that one note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up. Back up to 12. So that should be the last chord. Should feel like the bird's flying off. Blink, put a little pianissimo, not a pianissimo, but a decrescendo over that whole chord. Make it nice and slow, just like the little bird going off into space. Pretty. All right, so did a little bit of work on that. I don't know if you needed that work like I needed the work, but I do think that that helped me anyway. So let's see. Bill asks, or says, doesn't the repeat at 17 go back to 5? Yes, Bill. I have not been doing that, have I? Yes, it does. I'm going to write myself a note. 2, number 5. Good eye, Bill. Yeah, I've been going back to 12. So all week, several times played through this. Just keep going back to the wrong spot. So you're absolutely right. So the repeat at 17 does go all the way back. So that means you play the top part 3 times, right? Yes. So the top part gets played 3 times. Well, the intro, top part gets played 3 times. Bottom part gets played twice. So yeah, good eye, Bill. Thank you. Bill's going to be teaching from now on. I'll be sending over a link to the software to get him going. I've done all of the pre-testing for it. Nice. Thanks, Bill. All right. While you're getting up, our next thing, while my guitar gently weeps, let me give you a couple of thoughts about what's going on. Tomorrow and Monday I'm taking the day off, so there won't be any daytime classes tomorrow or Monday, but I do have the schedule posted already. So those of you guys that are daytime people, and those of you who could be daytime people, you should check in, right? We have every day we're doing a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3 song, and of course it's also a great opportunity if you are working on a song here in level 4, and you want, that's the place to come and chat about it. We can sit down and we have plenty of time in the week to just dig into these weird things in each of these songs to figure out how we can play them better. And then next Thursday night I have my condo association board meeting, so we won't be meeting next Thursday night, but you now have 6 pretty high level Beatles arrangements that you're going to be working on, plus you have a new super secret song, and DGO Mysteries number 3 is in your thing. Guys, try to download that stuff in the next day or two. I like to make those PDFs go away. I don't like to leave them laying around on the website too long, because I don't want to get whoever owns. Michael Jackson bought the entire Beatles catalog at some point, and I don't know if his estate still owns it, but I really don't want to get a call from one of their lawyers saying, "Hey, you're doing the Beatles online, and we own that song, and you owe us $3,000, so or 30,000 or whatever they think it's worth," and so we will. So make sure you get your sheets downloaded quickly, is my point. Arlo says the chord at measure 12, let me go back to that last song there, should be identified as a C with a G in the bass, measure 12. C chord at 12. Yeah, Arlo, you're probably right about that. The thing I do with chords, because I don't come from that chord background, I come from a melodic background, is I know that most chords are just developing the neighborhood, and guitarists have come up with a very sophisticated way of notating all of their chords, and there's no question that is a C chord with a G in the melody line. But for us as melodic players, that's just a C chord. It just happens that the melody is there. It's not really intended to be a chord in the sense that we're going to play this as a thing in and of itself. It's really a C chord. Then we're adding the melody note on there, and the melody goes bum bum bum. And because of that, it ends up showing up in these block chords like we're doing here. And so you're absolutely right. The notation would, for a chord player, would be clearer if we said C/G. But for a melodic or a tough uke player or a chord style player, you're thinking, all right, that's a C chord. That's a C chord. I just got to get a C chord on. And then I'll find my melody note with my pinky somehow. And that's sort of what's going on there. So don't disagree with you, Arlo, but I'm not sure it creates any I'm not. I think for somebody like you with a ton of chords in your background, that would absolutely help. But I think for the rest of us, it would probably just add another layer of confusion. And so I tend not to do that. We have lots of times. Moon River's perfect for giving you this C shape, right? It's these two here, and you're actually including this A note in there, and it's only because you accidentally hit it, right? You're not supposed to. And so there's this weird chord here is actually a C chord of some flavor, and C sus4 maybe, or C sus2. Oh, I think it's a F sharp. I don't know, C sus4 I think is what's going on there. And so, yeah, I mean, we could obviously spend a lot more time putting in the details on the chords, but I don't know if it helps us as players necessarily. Probably with somebody with a big chord background really would help. All right, let's go back to While My Guitar Gently Weeps. We talked about the schedule. Nothing next week, nothing Friday, and nothing Monday. And then other than that, the schedule is what normal. And then those of you guys locally, this is not for all of us. I did get a question from Grant Street, whether we're going to be up for a concert in December. My tendency is to say maybe, but maybe not. And so I am not going to put us down for a date in December until we have a whole lot more clarity around what the likelihood of us being able to ever meet anytime soon. But I think the thought isn't so much do we need that date in December. I think I can get a date in December even if I wait until the day before. But what I really want us to think about is not so much about putting on the next concert, but what are you doing to be ready for the next concert? I think probably for the next concert that we do here in town, which may happen in December. It may not happen for a year, I don't know. But I think it would be cool to do a Beatles on acoustic guitar concert. And so that's where my brain is right now. If it comes in December, which I'm highly doubtful it will, we would probably toss in a few Christmas tunes as well. But if it comes in any other time, I think it would be cool to do some of these Beatles tunes. And if we do that, if that were the theme of whatever we put together, one, I would want to make sure that we're going to have the ability to incorporate those of you guys that are not local. So we will have a screen and we will do the Zoom and you will be up there participating just the same as the rest of us. And so it's not like you don't have a say, but I do have to, locally, we got to start getting together when we can. And I'm not getting together, guys, until I get both shots in this arm. And they're right now, it looked like Fauci was saying, maybe April. So until I get 2 shots in this arm and until all of the rest of you are able to get 2 shots, I don't want to see it. I really don't. But be thinking about that in terms of, hey, if we did a Beatles concert, what would I do with it? You don't have to do a Beatles solo, but you might want to do something that has that kind of mentality about it. And let's begin to get your head starting to think around. Hey, I might want to do a duet with so-and-so. I'm going to call them up and see whether they would be interested in that. I might want to do a solo piece. Some of you guys are focused in on, hey, I just want to play classical music. Some of you are in jazz. But what could we do to turn that make it augment a Beatles concert? And so be giving that some thought about where you want to go with that. And, when we get back together, we're just going to start fresh. We'll see where we're at. I don't know how many people will come back. We had about 20 players, and you just never know after something like this how many have decided to take up knitting instead. And so those of you here locally be thinking about, hey, what would I do as a solo or small group performance, and then start getting the sheet music together and all that stuff. We might be a year away from that. We might be 6 months away from that. I don't know. It'll be 9 or 10 months, right? By the time we get into December. But that time goes by fast. We've already been locked up for a year, right? So that time will go fast. Let's play While My Guitar Gently Weeps. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, right? There we go. Lovely. All right, very quickly, where are we at on our list? Here Come the Sun will be on your own this week. Let's talk very quickly about the things that are in your inbox, and you may or may not have had a chance to print them out, but I want to talk to you briefly about them to make sure that just give you the overview on the new songs. You got a couple weeks to get them together, so you should be in pretty good shape. The first one, Norwegian Wood, I didn't know this song prior to a student of mine saying, hey, I'd like to play Norwegian Wood. And I'm like, I don't know that song. And I went and listened to it, and it's actually got a very lovely melody. It's actually a very fun song to play. The weird part about it is, of course, with the Beatles, I had to go Google, like, what the heck are they talking about here? And lots of different misleading information on the internet about it. But apparently it was common to not wallpaper, put wood paneling up in your house out of Norwegian wood. So you go into a house and it was full of wood paneling, and apparently, that's where the phraseology of Norwegian wood comes from. That was one of the internet stories. But the song is about this guy goes over and he's hanging out with this young lady, and they're sitting on the floor and they're drinking wine, and she has to go to bed because she's got to get up early. So he goes to sleep in the bathtub, and when she wakes up, she's gone. And so he burns the house down, and I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. So, one, don't burn people's houses down, and two, what appears to be a very sweet little song turns into this really nightmarish thing at the end. So I don't know how I feel about that generally. But in terms of the song itself, you're going to be in all of the standard positions for the most part. There's not a ton of really weird stuff you're going to have to do. So it might be a really nice piece for you to put together as a solo piece. That first, this D with a 5, we see that all the time. And then you go up to this 7, D chord. It's just a really nice theme to it. I'd say play it slow. It's set at 140. I wouldn't even think about 140. I'd think about 80 is probably where you want to start in 3. And again, let the tones, your low tones, sort of help glue the whole thing together. Bum ba da da bum, wa da da bum, wa da da bum. And so that goes pretty, just make that happen as flowy as possible. Measures 1 through 8, you repeat those. You play it twice, and then you're going to play down to measure 40, and then you're going to come all the way back and play down through measure 24 the second time. Sorry, you're going to play down through 40, 1 to 8, then 1 to 40, then you're going to come back 9 to 40 a second time, and then the third time is when you obey the DSL coda. You're going to play 9 down to 24. I do have the repeats block correct up on the upper left hand corner, so if you get confused, but you do have a DSL coda in here. Senyo's at 9, the coda is at 24, and the coda's buddy is over there at 40. Probably, if you remember the song at all, that first section is really soft and beautiful, and will make the most sense. Of course, when you get over to 25, she asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. That's where, of course, the tension in the song is built. And the chord is a D minor if you're singing it, but if you're playing it, it's a B minor on 5. B minor, B, C, D. That's the chord you'll be using, and so we're all set up with a B minor. You're used to playing B minor. It's just you're going to play that shape on 5. So the first two D minors in 25 and 26 are bar chords up on 5, and then the next two are the open D minors down below. So that part, the tablature, I think, is very clear. I think it's confusing when you look down, you see all this mess of notes, and you look up at the singer's chords, and you're like, well, why am I having to do all this when they get that? Remember, those chords up there are for singers. Those are not really for you guys. You guys are just short of being professional guitarists, and you have to play the hard chords. And the singers, Debbie, you got a singing voice. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. Right, that's what you're going to be doing. And so even if you're not a singer, you probably ought to play through that a little bit. So that's Norwegian Wood. Of the two, definitely the easier to get along with of the two songs. Penny Lane, it turns out, it's really focused around the D chord, and I think the problem with Penny Lane is the repeats are out of control. And guys, honestly, I reduced the overall amount of repeating that needed to be done from what the Beatles really did. Sort of cleaned it up a little bit for them, but here's how to think about this piece. You're going to play it through twice down to 17. So the first time you go to 8, come back, play it down to 17. Then you're going to go back and repeat that same process. So you're going to actually go 1 to 8, 1 to 17, and then you're going to go 1 to 8 and 1 to 17 again. Okay, so think of verses 1, 2, 3, and 4 as just mirror images. And we had this, I can't remember what song we had where we had to go back a bunch of times. 1 and 2, and then start over with 3 and 4. It was YMCA. We had 6 repeats. And you're like, we're not doing all those verses. So 1 and 2, play that all the way through down to 1 to 8, and then 1 to 17. Then go back and do verses 3 and 4, same thing. 1 to 8, 1 to 17. And then the last time you come through, verse 5, you're going to play that through, and you're going to play it down as it. You're not going to stop at 7 and 8. You're going to skip 7 and 8, and you're going to play down to 16. And that's where you'll notice on measure 16, there's a coda. And I wrote on there to number 18 on the third time. So the last time through, the 5th time through, you'll drop down and play 18, 19, and finish it out. Do know that I made a tiny bit of a change to the song overall in 18. When you come in, and then I put the D chord here. that's where the song really ends, but it's kind of nice to do. Okay, that little dun dun dun, Penny Lane. I put a little cutesy on the end there. I think it's pretty. You should do it. So the hard part with this one is reading the repeats. I did go through on the repeat block up on the upper left hand side to carefully write it all out, and I'm 99% sure it's correct. Here's the truth about the song. It gets super crazy repetitive. In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs, and then it just keeps, there's just another guy, the banker shows up, and the fireman, and the nurse selling cookies, and so on. So there's a lot of people in Penny Lane, and it kind of gets a little bit like, oh God. So we may or may not play it 5 times through, but you might want to just, I think it's a good exercise for you. You might, play it through one time as written, and you'll feel like you really played a lot of Penny Lane. There's that. And then finally, your DGO Mysteries. I wanted to talk very quickly about that one. I know I'm holding you over a couple minutes. All of the previous tunes, I think, had just one note at a time. So you would just, play your, what am I trying to say? You would play either a melody note or a bass note all at the same time. With this piece, we start the process of adding in a second note at the same time. So what we'll be doing, that first note's an E, and then the next one is a D and an A together, and then a B, and then whatever that is, a C sharp, and an A. Okay, so you're going to be doing probably a lot of either middle and thumb, sometimes index and thumb, definitely ring and thumb to play the bass note and the melody notes at the same time. And again, these songs are short, but they're a lot of work, and so if it's for you, absolutely, I think you can benefit from putting in the time to figure out where these notes are that are on the paper onto your fretboard, and you'll probably spend more time working out that than you'll actually spend working on the song. So, and also be aware you're in the key of A, and so you have all of the Fs are sharp, all of the Gs are sharp, and all of the Cs are sharp. So if you get to like measure 2, there's a C as your melody note there, which is right here, but it's a C sharp because you're in the key of A, so you're going to be playing that note instead. So play around with that. Obviously, if you have any questions, send me a note. I did do the cheat sheet with all of the notes on it. If you want to, if you're like, I don't know, this is too much work, send me the cheat sheet. I'm happy to do that too for you. And it just lists all of the notes in order that show up on here, and then you can go through and tab it out yourself. As we've talked about a million times, I don't think it's necessary to learn to play standard notation unless you are going to be academic, or unless you just have a general interest in it and want to get smarter. If you don't want, if you want to be like, it's too much work, it's perfectly fine to not do this module or this part of what we're doing. I'm mostly doing it for myself. I need to get better at reading this stuff, and but a few of you have told me, yep, I want to do it too. So we'll continue to push out DGO Mysteries. I'll try. The songs won't be super hard for a long time. I got a ton of music here that's basically designed to get you reading it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an overview. If this is interesting to you, you can spend an afternoon, figuring out where all the notes are. And it's a pretty little song. I promise. Yeah, I promise you'll love it. Let's see. Bill asked, quick chord question. The chord shape for D minor 7 in measure 4 of Penny Lane looks the same as F6 in measure 3 of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Are they the same? So this comes up, and especially in guitar, it even comes up a ton in ukulele, but sometimes you will have, Christy says, good dreamer level 7. Christy and I are going to do level 7 together. Yeah, Bill, the names of the exact same shapes can change, and so sometimes, so this shape may be something else entirely, and so it depends on the situation, particularly when you're not using lots and lots of. when you use 3 strings, theoretically you have 3 different notes, and those represent a chord. But depending on the situation and depending on the notes, chords can have different names. If I take and just play, let me see if I can get this right, an open, these first 4 open, I'm pretty sure I'm playing a G6. Okay. But it can also be a minor 7th, and I'm thinking it's probably a D minor 7th. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but those same 4 notes represent another name of a chord. The reason you'd use one name over another, it depends on what key you're in, it depends on which chords are also showing up in the song, it depends on a lot of other things that can determine the name of the chord. That's why, to be perfectly honest, when you're in music theory, you really care about naming all these things. As guitarists, because we deal with inverted chords all of the time, you get where you kind of don't care what the name is, kind of, and you really only care about what the shape is and where on the fretboard you need to put this shape. Point example happened earlier tonight. We have this D minor, right? It's right there, but the exact same chord is also up here in this shape. Okay, sounds quite a bit different, but it's the same chord. And so while they're named the same and they serve the same function, they sound quite a bit different. And as a guitarist, you're going to be like, well, I need a D minor, but I need it up here, so I'm going to do that D minor. And then, of course, that shape is the same as our B minor. So all this gets a little bit over your head, or over our heads if we think about it too much. Can a D minor 7 and F6 exist happily? Yeah, it just, generally speaking, you're in a different key, and that changes the name of it. So hopefully that helps. It gets kind of where you're listening, like a lot of times when I'm doing an arrangement and I get to a point, I'm like, I think this is a D minor, but then I start thinking about what key we're on, and I'm like, oh no, that's probably not a D minor, and so then I have to think it through what it really is. Thankfully, we have software to help us out most of the time with that stuff. So, but yes, it's probably identical shape, different names. Happens pretty regularly. Yeah. Christy says, good training for levels. So those of you guys who don't know, levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are songs, right? Level 1, get you started. Level 2, get you started right. Level 3, get you comfortable doing things the right way. And level 4 is you're here to suffer. Level 5 is when we start doing multi-part arrangements. Though 5 and 6 are companion levels. 5 and 6, 5 is where you're playing arrangements, multi-part arrangements that I've written, and 6 is where you're playing multi-part arrangements that somebody else has written, and then level 7 is the teaching program, or the guitar studio, and I haven't even completed level 7. I just have a basic idea of what it's supposed to be about, and Christy and I are developing what should be the world's greatest guitar program if we ever had time to get on it. So that's level 7. They're made up levels, guys, but 1 through 4 makes sense, and 5 for sure makes sense. 6 and 7 it gets a little fishy, but Pauline says these songs are fun. Thanks. See you next week. Enjoy the long weekend. Thanks, Pauline. She's probably already gone. And Bill, thanks for your questions. Thanks for being here. Vic, thanks for all. See you next week. Yeah, you guys have a nice long weekend. Play some Beatles, right? You got 6 songs. They're all lovely, I think. Elizabeth. In SS number 2, secret song number 2, there are rests in the thumb line. Are you supposed to mute the end of the note before the rest? Technically, yes, Elizabeth, and it's driving me batty that those rests are there. But yeah, you really, when you see a rest in guitar music, I don't know if it's 9, I don't know what the percentage is. Most of the time, the composer has really thought that through, and yeah, they do want you to stop the sound. You and I both know that there is playing music, and then there's making a juror happy, and so yeah, the rest you're supposed to mute them, but Are you really going to? I don't know. If your teacher's watching you, you're going to mute you're going to mute them. If you're playing the song for yourself, you're probably going to let them ring. It sounds pretty, you know. So yeah, in those ones, when you in classical music, when you see a rest and that string is still busy doing its deal, you are supposed to mute it. Yeah, and of course, then you have you know that's one of those skills we work on is how do you mute a string without going blank. So yeah, great question, Elizabeth. Evelyn, thanks again. Have a wonderful 4-day weekend. Thanks, Evelyn. So I don't know what I'll do without you guys. Some of you I see every single day, multiple times a day. So I'll probably end up becoming a hippie and wearing beads. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. It's going to here in Denver. We're going to be down into the teens, so it's going to be cold. And I know a lot of you around this country are already in that, and a couple of you are in California, where it's always perfect. So, have a great weekend, you guys. Thanks for everything. Don't hesitate to send me an email if you have questions and or comments or concerns, obviously, and I'll see what I can do to get back with you. Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, that's why. I was like, I wonder where Elizabeth is. And then you showed up. I thought, well, maybe I missed her checking in. JEL, thanks for great tunes. Have a nice weekend. Thanks, bud. Good. Glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Arlo, I heard a Tommy Emmanuel arrangement of Imagine today. Pretty inspirational. Tommy Emmanuel is inspirational, right? The guy is he's been doing it his whole life. He's now, I think, in his 60s, maybe his 70s. He's been around, been playing it since day one at that high level, and he's amazing to watch. And he does do teaching, and you can go and take classes from Tommy Emmanuel. I haven't done it, so I don't know if they're any good or not, but he's a whole nother level of professional. He's just amazing to listen to what he does. So, yep. Bill, good to see you. Have a great weekend. Elizabeth, shot tomorrow. Yeah, shot 2 tomorrow. That's so exciting. I'm very happy for you, Elizabeth. Kyla, good to see you. So glad you're back. Enjoy your weekend as well. And you guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to pull the plug. And we had a lot of people in here tonight. So if you are logged in and you can hit the thumbs up button down here, apparently that's helpful to me. And it kind of just helps YouTube know that we're doing good work here. So thanks for everything. I'll pull the plug. I don't know how to pull the plug with this new studio thing on here. So it may take me a while to figure out how to turn myself off. Oh, stop streaming. I think I hit this button. Let's see what happens.